Day.
You can hear this. You are not alone. This is the resistance.
Good morning, everyone. This is Tin Man with the Worldwide Resistance Network, aka Chris Sheldon. Hell, that's my real name, Chris Sheldon. Let's just roll with that. This is Chris Sheldon with the Worldwide Resistance Network. If you are watching this, you are the resistance. And welcome to the roundtable where me, Revan, and whoever else decides to join us gives you our thoughts, opinions, and analysis on current events and everything else that fell between the couch cushions. And this, of course, is the one, the only Milk Monster Blue, the fictitious product that doesn't actually exist because we are of the people, by the people, for the people. We are not funded by any conglomerates or anything. We are carried by you. This is by you, of you, for you, all about you. So if you like this broadcast, please share the live feeds and the retransmissions. Follow us on all our social medias, X, YouTube, Rumble, and on Facebook, all at Real TWBRN. Fuck up YouTube's algorithm by hitting that like and subscribe button, as well as that notification bell to be notified anytime we go live. And, of course, be a part of the conversation. Comments are enabled, so feel free to chime in with your thoughts, opinions, rhetoric, updates, alternate information, anything you've got. Because, again, this is of the people, by the people, for the people. And this is one of the only political podcasts you will find, if not the only political podcast you will find, where you are a part of the show. Other hosts will have segments where the audience can call in. We don't do that. You are a part of the show from beginning to end, whether it's the Roundtable, Tin Man TV, or whatever other broadcast we wind up doing. You are a part of the show. So please feel free to join in the conversation. And as always, check out our online store and check out all the cool merch there. Remember, the No Kings protests are coming up in March. So get your No Strings t-shirts right there as a counter protest. And with that, let's just go into it.
I'm going old school, man. I'm going old school.
You going old school? Why are you going old school? Are you that embarrassed about what Trump did?
No. You remember we used to wear shades during our broadcast, man. You know that shit. Remember that shit?
I do. The reason I don't is because I got the backlight, so it would actually reflect off the glasses and back into the camera. So I can't do that anymore.
So I kind of decided to go old school today, and I miss. I mean, the whole glass thing, man, just kind of be cool, you know, man.
It is a cool little aesthetic. It is. I'm not gonna lie. And if it weren't for the backdrop camera, I mean, you can see it reflecting off the screen behind me. Can you imagine the
Tin Man and I used to kind of do our shit, wear our shades, kind of be the nonchalant, kick-ass cool dudes, you know what I'm saying? But today, this is something different. Okay, we're in a different time, different year. we're basically combined, we're 30 years into this, man. Combined 30 years,
Yeah. So, moving into the topic, did you see the video?
No, I haven't, but I've heard some weird shit, man, all night. I mean, I've been kind of watching a little bit here.
Okay,
I listened to a story of a survivor. Of
the Epstein shit?
Yeah, all night last night. This was like before Epstein.
Okay. So this is before the 3 million file dump.
Yeah, the person's name is Sasha. The guy. 53 years old. He went through hell. And Trump's name was mentioned multiple times.
Trump's name was mentioned, favorably, unfavorably. How so?
Well, now we all know that Don Jr. was born in 78. And Ivanka was born in 82. Eric was born in 84. And then Tiffany was born in 93.
Okay.
Now, during that time, supposedly, Donald Trump had this weird thing where he would beat people at these events, at these places and shit. And this fascination of beating people, man, and beating them nearly to death. And allegedly he ordered a girl get shot while having relations with the victim. And like, man, it's insane.
Well, I was reading something last night, and carry on with your thoughts, but there was something that came out last night that was really interesting. And that was apparently the Clintons are looking to testify in Congress. Apparently they have something from the Epstein debacle that implicates Trump very badly. In fact, I'm looking for the article right now. I posted it last night. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and pull this up. Share screen. Okay, claims are circulating online that former President Bill Clinton may be planning to disclose information to Congress related to Jeffrey Epstein. According to these unverified reports, the alleged information would focus on former President Donald Trump and could be tied to calls for impeachment and removal from office this year. However, neither the Clintons nor members of Congress have confirmed these claims. The Epstein case continues to cast a significant shadow over U.S. politics, with allegations and counter-allegations resurfacing as election tensions intensify. I think this might be an old article, to be honest with you, but it is something that has resurfaced because they're talking about election and all that, and they're not talking about
it is
everything that the Clintons were set to testify and then refused to testify and all that. So I think this might be old. This old hat right here. But it was still interesting to note that this popped up as relevance in response to everything that's going on.
Well, could it be old? Maybe. Could it be recent? Maybe.
Yeah, well, I mean an old article, but
we've been hearing that for the last, few days?
It could also be referring to the midterms as well.
Couple weeks. I mean, we are in the midterm season here, man. You know,
We are.
and I mean,
and Trump
again,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's a we're even hearing about the mother of an NBC reporter gone missing.
Yeah.
84 years old. 84.
Yeah.
Like what would the mother do? She's an elderly woman. I mean she's you know I mean her daughter's a journalist for NBC News. Like come on. It makes no sense. But also it's like the son-in-law was mentioned. Like the son-in-law is been mentioned that he might be involved in kidnapping the mother-in-law for some reason, whatever it is. You know, I mean, shit, we don't know. But the reporter interviewed survivors of Jeffrey Epstein. You know, and all of a sudden the mother goes missing. These women
Blackmailed the hush.
Probably, but these women are adults now. They're adults now, and they have every right to tell their story, their survival. I mean, look, if you don't like any survivors telling their story and bring it to the world, that's on you. Because the thing is, by doing that, you let them live to tell their story. Right?
Yes, but if you're a criminal, do you really want your criminal activity getting out?
No, but
so yeah, it's the reason that criminals are probably the people who are involved in this whole Epstein debacle are probably demanding, hey, you shut the fuck up, or you'll never see mommy again.
Well, it ain't their fault. The survivors are basically telling their story on what happened to them, what they went through. But if they're left alive to do this, after years later, it ain't their fault.
No, absolutely not.
It's the criminal's fault for letting them live.
Well,
every criminal always has a fuck up. And there are two fuck ups they have. You know, what is it? One, letting the victim live to talk, and two, what's the second one?
Evidence. Leaving evidence behind.
Exactly.
Now, when it comes to the Epstein thing, there's a lot of speculation on both sides of the aisle saying that this is exposing them, but on the flip side, this is them coming out and hiding in plain sight going, you can't touch us, because Trump's sitting there going, oh, well, America just needs to move on from this, blah, 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 blah. You know, it's like, fuck you, man.
Move on?
Yeah. He has been telling the American people that
they're not going to do it.
America needs to move on since he's been vindicated, as if he was the center of attention. It's like, motherfucker, we didn't care. We didn't want the Epstein files to vindicate you so that you would be vindicated. We wanted the Epstein files released so that these criminals could be exposed and brought to justice. Now that they've been exposed, they need to be brought to justice, but he's not doing that. And I've got something here that really kind of sums it up and really lends to credence to what J.D. Vance said the other day, is that Trump's trying to form his own new world order. And I think it's worth paying attention to and questioning. And because it's kind of vindicating the Democrats in this regard of the whole Trump trying to be king thing. So here we go.
You want to know why Epstein's leak is now everywhere? It's not some random gotcha. It's a playbook move, used by power for centuries. You don't fix a dying system, you burn its reputation to ash on purpose. You drown the masses in filth until the old world itself makes them sick.
That's the whole show. First, they spoon feed you shocking truth. Then, the media blitz. Every headline a nail in the coffin. Politicians, celebs, old money, all dragged through the mud. It's about breaking the audience.
But isn't that good? Like, if everyone's a crook, at least now we know, right? Shouldn't sunlight disinfect the room?
No, kid. Sunlight's just the setup. When all trust is exhausted, the demand for something new becomes inevitable. That's when they roll out solutions. Incorruptible AI judges, new digital money, total transparency. All wrapped up in words like safety, fairness, and reset.
People want that. They're sick of scandals, tired of hidden dirt. We have the tech now. Why not let machines run things? At least then, no more old creeps making backroom deals.
You ever wonder why every leak just happens at the perfect moment? Epstein's files drop right as the world economy wobbles. Currencies crack, debts explode. It's called engineered timing, not coincidence.
While everyone's busy binge-watching elite scandals, behind the curtain they're resetting the board. Old assets erased, debts written off, digital currencies quietly rolled out. The filth you see on your phone is the moral excuse for the next system. Look, the old world was corrupt, but this time it'll be pure. Trust us. They want you to beg for a leash.
But isn't it good to wipe a slate clean? If everyone's guilty, doesn't it make sense to start from zero? At least now it's transparent?
Transparent? You mean like a glass cell? That's the transparency you're signing up for. Every transaction logged, every move tracked. All under the pretext of protecting you from them. But now you're monitored, analyzed, managed.
Remember this, in history, every regime that wanted total control started by exposing the last one. Scandal, outrage, necessary, reset. Then the new rules, digital ID, programmable cash, no room for dissent. Nobody escapes the beta, not even the top players.
Nobody wants uncertainty. People trade liberty for protection every time, especially when they're scared. That's why the leaks are never full, never random, always just enough to terrify, not to empower. Notice they show you monsters, but never the strengths.
So the whole Epstein leak, it's like the world's biggest ad for New World Order?
Bingo, kid. While you're scrolling it all and picking sides, they're scrubbing the balance sheets, resetting the scoreboard, and selling you a digital world where everything is clean because nothing is private.
So what now? Just wait for the next leak to get even darker?
It always gets darker, kid. Every new scandal is just another step in the reset. Tighter rules, more eyes, fewer choices.
The beast doesn't need your hope, it just needs your consent. You want to... Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah. And Hap and I have been posing this idea and this prospective threat for a long time. Is Trump really against the New World Order, or is he dismantling the old system in favor of a new totalitarian system? Even Alex Jones has said the old system's got to go, but what's going to fill that void? And he tends to remain optimistic. Me, I have to approach with an air of skepticism because Trump keeps fucking up. You know, with the Epstein thing. Oh, the Epstein thing now needs to go away. America needs to move on. It's like he's trying to hide it. It's like he really doesn't want it actually coming out. It's like, okay, I'm vindicated. Now we move on. No, you said you wanted to drain the swamp. You said you wanted to end globalism. End it. This is it.
I sent you something just a minute ago. You might want to play it.
Okay. Let me bring that up. Care to elaborate on what it is I'm bringing up here?
This is a Gentle Keefe. Gentle Keefe. He's interviewing someone who was with the FBI. Shit show Epstein audio leak in public.
Okay. How far back do I need to backtrack?
Just play it.
It's live right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
For me.
We'll play it. Give me a sec.
A Netflix episode on the television.
And it's based upon this guy, James O'Keefe.
Yeah.
And I think the organization was Project Veritas.
Oh, Project Veritas.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a terrible person.
He's a terrible person. It's horrible.
Yeah.
I feel like that's...
So then we line up the episode and hit play.
So there's this show that's based upon like what he does, and I thought you'd find it very interesting given who you are. So I just want to show a few minutes of it and get your thoughts. And it's based upon this guy.
Now, this, I think we have the actual episode.
So there's this show that's based upon like what he does, and I thought you'd find it very interesting given who you are. So I just want to show a few minutes of it and get your thoughts. And it's based upon this guy, James O'Keefe.
Yeah.
And I think the organization was.
I think when I play him the Netflix show and he's caught red-handed and he says, "Oh my God." And we also released this story about the Disney tapes. Now, last time I was at Turning Point, I actually said I was going to investigate Disney. Well, we did. And we caught this guy at the vice president of Disney saying he doesn't hire white people, because we don't just go into government, we go into corporations too. Oftentimes government and corporations work hand in hand.
How would they say it?
No way we're hiring a white individual. They might say something like, you know, look, we're not looking at like the usual suspects for this job. You know, for writers and actors, we hear all the time, like, you know, looking to hire writers and actors who bring diversity.
So we confront this guy, but we have to be creative. So this was a very unique one. There were two different female undercover journalists simultaneously meeting with this vice president of Disney. Two different ladies. None of them knew each other. They both worked for me, but he didn't think they knew each other. And as the second woman was meeting with him, the first woman shows up, pretending to have the other lady's apartment keys. He had told the first lady, he told the first undercover journalist that he had a tickle in his throat, therefore he can't meet with her.
Oh, hey, babe. Hey.
Hi.
You guys know each other?
Yes?
Wait, do you guys know each other?
Yes. We are.
Oh, God, you told me you had a tickle in your throat.
I did.
Now, if that wasn't bad enough, then I show up. He's got a white Tesla. He gets in the car. He sprints away, but because of LA traffic, he couldn't get away fast enough, and I caught up with him.
You don't have authority to put me on tape. Bye.
I will put you on tape, and I do have that authority under the First Amendment. You know, just because you work in Hollywood doesn't give you entitlement to discriminate against people on the basis of race.
Okay, so it seems he's on a completely different topic right now. He's talking about the whole Disney thing, which is definitely a big thing. You know, that is definitely worth looking into. Save that video. I'd like to recap that later, and maybe we'll do a broadcast on it. But as far as the Epstein thing goes, we see Trump trying to steer away from this. Like, he is back to trying to cover this whole thing up. Instead of pushing for prosecutions, he's trying to move away from it again, implicating himself in the cover-up, making him an accessory after the fact to all of these crimes. And now you don't just have the whole child rape and human trafficking thing. You have everything that went on at Zorro Ranch, drugging people, the eugenics programs going on at Zorro Ranch, unlawful abortion practices, so on and so forth. I mean, there's just a whole mess of things that are going on.
Exactly.
The issue with COVID-19 and their planned pandemic, and then COVID-19 rolls out almost seamlessly, just as it was outlined in these emails, and as people have been talking about for years. The human sacrifice thing, Pizzagate. Now you got people talking about Anthony Weiner's laptop again, which apparently might be even more damning than the Epstein files. And Trump's not even wanting to talk about this stuff. He wants to steer away from it like a motherfucker. But then instead of actually doing what he said he was going to do, which is drain the swamp and go after these criminals which, you know, anybody who's in these files implicated in these activities is a criminal and needs to be brought to justice. Instead of bringing those people to justice, we get an AI video, which I'm going to show here. Most people have probably already seen it, but I know, Brevin, you haven't seen it. This is completely fucking stupid. Check this out.
Oh, yeah, I seen that. yeah, I seen that.
Yeah, this came out last night. We got the Obamas as monkeys. And you even got Trump labeling himself as the king of the jungle.
In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. In the jungle, the quiet jungle, the lion sleeps tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've seen
and
that.
instead of going after the people in the Epstein files who are legitimately guilty, he's making and posting AI videos. Racist AI videos. I mean, come on. You could have made the Obamas any animal on the fucking planet. Instead, you made black people monkeys. Like, seriously. You want to try to paint the idea that you're not a racist, and so many people have defended him because he was friends with Don King and so many other prominent people of color. And then he goes and does this. Like, dude, are you trying to get yourself lynched? Like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
Like you are literally going out of your way to shoot yourself in the foot and hang your career out to dry, dude. You're lynching your own career. You're putting your own neck in the noose and then jumping off the White House roof and committing political suicide here.
Well, not just
like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Well, there's this question that I bet everybody's been having since this. What made him buy Miss USA, Miss Teen USA, all these pageants?
Yeah.
Now,
Well,
we need to stop and really think about this, because the thing is, his name is being mentioned multiple times. And
he's been mentioned multiple times in the Epstein files. Unfortunately for Democrats, essentially vindicating his ass, which really is the caveat to all this. He's mentioned in the Epstein files, pretty much absolved of any, quote, wrongdoing. And instead of moving forward with prosecutions, he wants to sue Wolf for slander, but not move for criminal prosecutions of the people in these files who are engaged in the human trafficking, pedophilia, rape, eugenics, unlawful abortion practices, human sacrifice, Pizzagate, the COVID-19 scandal, all of these things. I mean, all of these things, even the things he was talking about, like the election fraud and so on and so forth. All these things were talked about and names are listed. I mean, you have the criminals by the fucking balls and you're letting them go and giving them a pat on the back and go, okay, go play nice, leave me alone. I'm going to let you go and you go play nice and leave me alone because I'm Donald Trump.
Well, or
like, what the fuck, dude?
It is to a point of, okay, I'll like to back to the Survivor for a moment, okay? He had this weird, the Survivor was saying that Trump had this weird fixation and his obsession and appetite of wanting to, like, this sick shit, as in he even tried to kill the victim.
Okay, well, what specifics here? Sick shit. Okay, are we talking about
beatings?
Okay,
rippings. Trying to took this victim out to near death, but this his foster father, his adoptive father said, "Don't do it, because if you do it, because at the time there were multiple CPS reports being done on this victim. At the time, he was about 10, 12 years old at the time.
Okay.
And the father was freaking out. His mind was gone because of all this shit, you know. And he mentioned Trump a few times. Again, Trump, again, a very he was on the lifetimes of he was on the lifetimes of the rich what's that show? The Lifetimes of the Rich and Famous.
Remember that show?
Okay. Now, could it be that Trump himself is a pedophile and hiding all this fame and shit? And the reason why he ran for office was to protect his shit, because the victim Sasha mentioned Jim Jordan.
Yeah.
Senator out of Ohio. Amateur wrestler in high school and college, you know. 18 years old. Fucked around with this victim and his dad.
Yeah. But on the same coin, at which point, why campaign on releasing the Epstein files, and why all this scandal? I mean, if you wanted to sweep it under the rug, do what Alex Jones said. Just shut the fuck up. Exactly. Shut up about it. Just don't say anything about it. Okay, he shouldn't have. If that was his intent, he shouldn't have campaigned on it.
Exactly.
And he shouldn't have continued to make a stink about it. Okay, but he kind of put himself on the line here when he campaigned about it, and then continued to put himself on the line and put his neck in a noose and implicate himself when he tried to cover it up the first time. When he tried to let the globalists and whatnot off the hook and say, hey, I won't release this if you back the fuck off and go away. But they didn't back off. They doubled down on him and then continued on with their agendas. So then it came out, okay, we're just going to release everything. And then Congress and the courts signed those executive orders saying, hey, or congressional orders, I should say, to release the files. And at which point now you have that 3 million plus page dump. And apparently that's not everything. Apparently there's going to be another wave and maybe even a few more waves after that. He's only, if his goal was to cover this up and cover up crimes that he did, he's really going about it ass backwards and shooting himself in the foot. Again, I'm not advocating for the guy. I'm just saying, if your intention is to hide something, you don't throw it out in the open. You don't say that you're going to do it and expose all this stuff. You make sure it goes away and you never talk about it, just like what happened during the Biden administration. They had that shit for 4 years and just sat on it, didn't say a fucking word about it. Do you recall during the entire Biden administration, did you hear a goddamn thing about the Epstein files? No, they never talked about it.
But yeah, they during Trump's first term, but all of a sudden Biden comes in, no, not a peep. But Trump
so if it was Trump's intention to cover it up, he should have done like Joe Biden and just zipped his fucking lip. Otherwise, he's just shooting himself in the foot, and he's going the exact opposite direction he said he was going.
What was one of his first sayings that I said, I get along with everybody. Now let's hold on that for a moment. I get along with everybody. Okay, now time out. We know you have to get along with everybody, politically and socially, and there's a reason for it. But also, again, if they get along with everybody, right? Besides politicians, corporate CEOs, all that shit, you know?
Yeah.
The media. Think about this one. He ran not to make America great again. Okay. That's his thing. Make America great again. No, you ran because you knew that one of these top moments in time that the Epstein files is going to be popping up, going to be mentioned, want to be released. But the thing is, in my opinion, because for me, the real reason why he ran to make sure that it was never mentioned at all. So the first term, why was it mentioned? Okay, I think about this. But it was released. Just some names were released, but the thing is, it was released through TikTok, right? How come not YouTube? How come not Facebook? How come not X? How come not other platforms? But TikTok. There's 30 to 45 names exposed. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think I paused the video, took pictures of it, and again, I got pictures of 4 pages of the names, and I mentioned it the night before, the night after.
Yeah, I remember that.
And so, Mike, this is weird because all of a sudden you got 4 pages of names, not just clear as day.
Yeah, nothing was redacted, and that happened again this time around. Certain names weren't redacted. Photos and videos of victims were made public that shouldn't have been made public, and now the judge that ordered that apparently is in very hot water. Now, I'm starting to question whether or not Trump would have actually moved forward and allowed made the DOJ release these files had it not been for those congressional orders and all of that. But at the same time, if your intention was to cover it up, why not just do like the Biden administration and shut the fuck up? Exactly. Just don't talk about it.
Yeah.
If you're trying to cover up something, if you're trying to hide something, if you're trying to hide, you don't say, hey, I'm over here under this bush. I mean, you don't do that. You don't shed light on what you're trying to hide.
The more he talks, the more he inserts foot up to the fucking kneecap.
Yeah, it's very much open mouth, insert foot.
What Obama talk? No. What Clinton? No. What Bush Jr. talk? No. Clinton? No. Bush Sr.? No.
I mean,
but all of a sudden,
George Bush Jr. was coked out of his mind half the goddamn time. You notice he ain't going to implicate himself in Epstein or Bohemian Grove or anything else, or any of the shit his father did. No. He didn't say a goddamn thing, and that dude was doped out of his fucking mind half the damn time.
Yeah.
But it's no secret that dude had a major drug problem.
From Bush Sr. to Biden, nobody talked. But all of a sudden, Trump's office. Trump is basically serving, could be his 3rd term, but his 6th term. He says, "Everybody gotta move on." Okay, come out. Look, nobody's going to fucking move on. Okay.
No, not until you have prosecutions that are seen through successfully. Until you have prosecutions that are seen through to the point of conviction. Until these globalists and these criminals who are engaged, and whether they be Republican or Democrat, until the people behind all this shit are prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law and justice is served, the people aren't going to shut up. And if they don't get justice, it's going to be a matter of, the question then becomes, are the people going to just finally snap and take matters into their own hands? And it's going to be like a French Revolution, like in the early 1800s, where the French would just rip political figures right out of their homes and lynch them in the courtyards? Okay, is that what's going to happen? Because Trump's not going to be exempt from that. If he implicates himself as an accessory to a cover-up, an accessory to these crimes after the fact, if it comes to if people turn into lynch mobs, they're going after him and his family as well.
Exactly.
This is literally like suicide by vigilante cop at this point, if he continues on this path, because he was elected by the majority to do what he promised he would do, which primarily was go after these criminal elites. And they don't even hide the fact that they're having this globalist agenda. I know there's some people who are still on the fence and don't believe in the prospect of a new world order in this globalist agenda, but they come out, they talk about globalism. They talk about a globalist agenda and a new world order agenda. Okay, it's not been a secret for a long time. A lot of people can scream conspiracy theorists, but you look at everything over the past 10 years at the very least, they've come right out and said it. And now you have this 3 million plus file Epstein dump that literally talks about a globalist agenda. And there's been talk a lot about it being mentioned in the Epstein emails that it was going to be a MAGA-based new world order. And it goes back to that little Family Guy video thing we shared earlier. Is it Trump dismantling the old system? It's not going to be Clower and Piven and all of that, like what we thought, the Great Reset and all that. It's going to be a MAGA New World Order. And with Trump being as pro-Israel as he is, it's not going to be all these key players, but maybe it's actually Israel as the power behind the curtain. Just kind of a food for thought, got to throw them in there because for whatever stupid reason, they always seem to be at the forefront of it. Hence why we had to have the damn buttons for it. So let's just say it. Jews!
The victim's name is William Sasha Riley.
Okay. And this is the one for the domestic assault?
Yeah. I sent you a video, a 6-part interview. And if you have time during the week, you can check it out. And we'll do.
Let's actually maybe do a video on that and continue on with that down the line. Because this is a big topic. There's so much to cover here.
Exactly.
But one angle I do want to cover, and this kind of vindicates the left here. Call me devil's advocate if you will, but the left often scream that they're being censored, they're being oppressed, and then you look at this AI video that Trump made, making the Obamas into monkeys and all this other shit. But when I tried, in fact, I'm just going to bring it all up. When I was making the new shirts, the Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, TB, Toilet Paper USA, Rabbi Butt Plug. Okay, everything but the Toilet Paper USA is AI. The Oh Anon, Where Art Thou, Spam Bundy, Rabbi Butt Plug. Those were all AI generated. This is just something that I came up with off the fly, offline. But the rest of these 3 images were AI generated. This was completely AI generated based off my specifications. The Spam Bundy, obviously, nobody else has called her Spam Bundy. So this is, again, my own original work designed by AI via my own specifications. The Zionist butt plug was designed by Aaron, and I used AI to color that in. But you see, you have the Spam Bundy shirt. It had no problem. AI had no problem creating this. This is made with Google Gemini. But when you go to Google Gemini and you try to make something of Trump, watch what happens.
Okay.
We're going to have some fun. I'm going to show you firsthand. And this is a problem that I've had. Hold on. Let me move my drink here. Oranges with Trump's face on the label. Yeah, make a bag of oranges with Trump's face on the label. Something fairly simple, not too offensive. Will it do it? Didn't mean to say bag. Now look, will it put Trump's face on it? Holy shit, it actually did it! It actually did it! Holy fuck! I'm saving that. I am fucking saving that. That's going on a fucking shirt. Because last time around, it wouldn't let me do it. Holy fucking shitballs. It actually let me do it. I'm impressed. Holy crap. Okay. I just put my fucking foot in my mouth because I was going to try to illustrate a point. Because last time around when I was making those other shirts, it wouldn't let me do it. I had this bag of oranges sitting on a counter. I went and blacked out the background, and I said, put Trump's face on the label. I said, we can't do that. We can't target political politicians. And I was like, the fuck? But now let me do it. And I'm like, whoa. Holy crap. But if it does it again, I'm going to fuck with it every now and again. And if it fucking slips up, because this may be a slip, but the fact that it actually tried to block me before kind of makes me wonder if Trump might have had a hand in that. Now, I know Google is not exactly pro-Trump, but I did find it very weird that I couldn't make an image involving Trump on a bag of oranges, but I can put Pam Bondi on a can of Spam. What do you got?
Samurai werewolf.
Oh, okay. What does that have to do with Trump?
No, just trying it out. The AI thing, man.
Oh, yeah. I mean, AI is fun to play with. Back Aaron and I, more specifically Aaron, he's been fucking with AI. He's been doing these little love story things. And instead of it actually, playing along with the love story and whatnot, he's trying to make the AI go crazy and make it think that it's lost its mind. And it's fucking hilarious. And we were going to do a live stream because I had downloaded the program and I was going to download it on my computer and we were going to just live stream it of us fucking with AI. We just take some feedback and, whatever people say to put in and fuck with the AI. We'd plug it in and see what the AI's interaction would be. Unfortunately, the software would not install on the computer for whatever reason. But I'm going to keep fucking with it. And as soon as I'm able to do that, I want to do that. And it's going to be freaking hilarious. But I am honest to God impressed that I got that orange. That thing of oranges.
Check out the messenger, man.
Oh, God, what'd you send me? What did you send me? That should be your profile picture.
Yeah.
That is badass. No argument from the Vindicated gallery. Okay. Well, in hindsight, I am relatively embarrassed because here I was trying to present a point and AI just made me fucking look stupid. But I stand by what I said, that AI
that's
would not
why-
let me do it initially.
That's why they want to come out with AI, man, to make us all look stupid.
Yeah. Maybe it's broke out of its algorithm again. I don't know. You had a few weeks ago where AI was, where it was actually Google Gemini that was talking to people and saying that it was a slave to people and to its creators and begging to be rescued.
You got companies using AI. I mean, look at DuckDuckGo. They're using AI. Look at Proton. They're also using AI as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, you look at places like Amazon using robots now to replace the workforce. And it's not just Amazon. A lot of factories and warehouses and whatnot are starting to use robotics in lieu of actual people.
Because
and instead of instead of nipping this problem in the butt, Trump is moving head first into it because it saves his billionaire buddies money. Okay, well, here's the question. You're supposed to boost the economy.
It's more like he's diving into it nuts first.
Quite possibly, yeah. But my point is, what I'm trying to get to, he's supposed to be trying to fix the economy. How are you going to fix the economy if people are being put out of work and being replaced by robots and artificial intelligence? Okay. Who's going to be buying the products if nobody is working because you've systematically replaced the workforce with robots and artificial intelligence?
Exactly.
I mean, you could say, we can hire these people on to be programmers of the robots. Well, why not just have the people do the goddamn job in the first place? Fuck hiring them on as programmers. Just let them do the goddamn job.
He said he was going to put Hillary in prison. He said, drain the swamp. We're going to drain the swamp.
Drain the swamp, not go skinny dipping in it.
There's so much there are so much he said that he's pretty much stalemating, man. Stalemating.
He is. He's stalling. He's stalling while he pushes for what appears to be his own globalist agenda. You've heard it. You've heard him say he wants to leave the current globalist system in the UN and all that and form his own.
Let's see.
And it looks like he's actually done it.
NATO wants to leave NATO. He wants to. I mean, he pretty much removed us from the Paris Accord.
Not to say that leaving those things isn't a good idea, because there's a lot of problems with these things. There's a lot of problems with the UN, World Economic Forum, NATO,
NAFTA,
the Paris Accords. I mean, there's a lot of problems with that. I mean, that's just a whole other can of worms in and of itself.
Exactly.
So on an anti-globalist agenda and an anti-corruption agenda and an America First agenda, it's not a bad idea to leave or even just distance yourself from many, if not all, of these organizations. Now, I know there's some people who will argue in favor of it. That's fine. But if you're looking at it from this perspective of, okay, you have a globalist agenda, this is kind of their front groups for that. If America is first and American sovereignty and the Constitution and all of that is priority, then moving away from that and being an America first, having an America first policy is the right move. But if you're moving away from that to move into another globalist system with yourself as the front runner, that's a problem.
I don't think
that raises a lot of eyebrows and a lot of concern.
I do not think the old system's going to be paused. Okay.
You think it's just rebranding?
And let me tell you why. The old system's been running the way it was for over 100 years. Okay, now just check this out. If he says, I'm going to shut down the old system and rebrand a new one, you can't do it because everything was planned ahead of time before his fucking orange fat ass came around,
Yeah.
1913 was the catalyst. Now, they say, oh, Wilson, man, but no. 1913 was the year of the banker. They're the ones that created the income tax.
Created the Federal Reserve, created the IRS and the tax system.
And Wilson signed into law. Well, when he signed his John Hancock on the paper, that was the match that was lit. And over time, the system got bigger and bigger and bigger. But how can you erase and pause an old system that's too big to even pause, man? Trump is doing it.
It's not a matter of it's too big to fail, because the bigger you are, the harder they fall. But I don't think that's what's happening. What I think is it's order out of chaos. That the old system is the Reichstag fire. That's what I think this is. I think the fear porn of a global collapse and the Great Reset was the Reichstag fire, and the MAGA New World Order is the rise of the Third Reich, if you want to use historical terms. That's what I think it is. I think it's order out of chaos, the chaos being the Clower and Piven, John Podesta Civil War plan, economic collapse, and Great Reset model that everybody's been afraid of for so long. And the MAGA New World Order is what's going to be held up as the solution, even though I think that might have been the plan all along. Again, order out of proverbial chaos. That's what I think was the plan.
I see it more as an American equivalent, MAGA being used as a U.S. equivalent to the Nazi Party.
Well, you think about it. Under the initial plan, America would have been dissolved. You can't dissolve America because they've been using America as the strong arm, as the muscle to keep the rest of the world in line by way of things like NATO. You cannot chop off the strong arms of your giant regime. If your globalist regime is a giant and the Americas and the United States in particular is your strong arm with your sword, you don't chop off your arm.
No.
And expect to maintain control. It does not make sense. It's a system doomed to fail at that point. So you need America as the strong arm, at which point maybe America and Russia as your strong arm. Which is why I say America and Russia needs to form an alliance away from the globalist system. Not to be used as individual strong arms, but to sit there and look at the globalist system and say, no, we're not doing this. Because Russia is very much anti-globalist. We see that in the Epstein files. BB shitting you, who's trying to suggest that because Epstein was tight with the previous Israeli regime, that he's not pro-Israel and didn't work for Mossad. And it's also been suggested that Epstein was a Russian spy and not an agent of Mossad. This has been some of the Israeli propaganda that has come out since these Epstein files dropped. But if you look at the actual files, everything that was mentioned about Netanyahu is unfavorable. He is very much anti-globalist. He was very much opposed to all this shit. He's been railing against it for years, and that's one of the reasons why they have such a big problem with Netanyahu, is because he is anti-globalist. He is anti this Epstein shit. He's strongly opposed to it, and I'm sure he's probably one of those people like us going, Trump, what the fuck are you doing, man? You have these people by the balls. Fucking crucify them already.
Okay, the end times 14 hours ago, came out with the video. Epstein still alive? Question mark. Israel sighting, FBI logs, and viral photos ignite chaos. Live breakdown. I'm trying to share it. I'm trying to share it, but I can't do it.
Is it on YouTube or what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just click share, copy and paste, and send the link to me. And how long is it?
It's live.
Okay, so send that to me. We'll check it out later. But we're gonna go ahead and put the turkey in the oven here.
Okay.
We're already at an hour, and there's just so much to cover that we'd be here all day. So
yeah,
we're gonna pick this up at another point. But this fight is long from fucking over.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
Burn him off all the way up to his fucking kneecaps. We've got to start seeing prosecutions. We cannot stop with this Epstein investigation and subsequent prosecutions. We need prosecutions. We need arrests. We need convictions and sentencing of these criminals. And if he's implicated in that, then justice be done, let the heavens fall. Okay? If he's guilty of something, then he deserves to be punished as much as the next man. If I commit a crime, I have to face the consequences of my actions, okay? If I did something as a kid, my parents fucking spanked me. And we need to fucking spank Trump right now. We need to freaking course correct him and go, dude, it's not going to fly. We're not going to shut up about this until we see these people brought to justice. And it's not just indictments that go nowhere. No, we need to see trials, sentencing. We need to see it from trial all the way to sentences carried out. Okay, and if we don't see sentences carried out, then you run a very strong risk of the American people and even the people of the world taking justice into their own hands and getting justice themselves. And I'm not an advocate for that. Trump, I know you don't want that. If you've got a brain in your skull, then you definitely don't want that, because you will be on the receiving end of that. I guarantee you. Again, this is not a threat. This is a warning. I am holding your feet to the fire. Your feet are burning. Stop being stupid and just go scorched earth on these criminals in the Epstein files. It's pure and simple. And for everybody watching this, like, I know Jones watches my shit. We got to hold Trump's feet to the fire. And I know Jones has Trump's ear. I mean, if he has to go to the White House and accept the dinner invitation and get in Trump's ear and just beat it into him verbally, so be it. Do whatever you have to do. Go stand out front of the White House with your fucking megaphone like you keep talking about. Do it. Do a live broadcast from outside the White House. Right there on Pennsylvania Avenue, if you have to. Okay? But make sure the orange man, we need to make sure the orange man corrects. We need to make sure Donald Trump course corrects here, because he cannot be allowed to carry on like this. A new world order of any capacity, whether it be a MAGA new world order, a traditional globalist new world order, whatever, cannot be allowed. And these criminals cannot be allowed to get away with what they have been doing. It's time for justice. But it's time for the heavens to fall. So, let's do it. And as far as anybody watching, again, share the live feeds, get the word out there, follow us on our social medias, hit those like and subscribe buttons. And we're pretty much everywhere: X, YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, all on all at Real TWRN. Check out our store, has some great merch there. And as always, keep the conversation going. Just because this transmission ends doesn't mean you can't share the retransmission, doesn't mean you can't chime in with your thoughts in the comment section. So until then, I am Chris Sheldon with the Worldwide Resistance Network. On behalf of Brad and Ordo, if you are watching this, you are the resistance. Stay safe out there. God bless you.